Hey everyone, it's Alex here. So I ran a poll on my Twitter and asked you guys what you'd want me to review next. By the way, you can follow me on Twitter at AlexMakesVids. Just go check it out, you can't miss me. Anyways, I put up two options, She-Hulk or House of the Dragon. And to my surprise, it swayed heavily in the favor of the latter. I seriously didn't think that there'd be a crave for talking about Thrones still, or the fact that a new show would interest people after a complete dud the final season was, and it killed all the hype. But here we are.
A woman would not inherit the Iron Throne, because that is the order of things.
When I'm queen, I will create a new order.
I won't be too in detail like I am with Better Call Saul, because this is new territory for me. I'm very familiar with the entire series of Game of Thrones, but this is like a reintroduction to everything new, and I got a lot going on, and I'll just get out of the gate right now. This kind of reminds me of those early seasons or early episodes of Game of Thrones where I was like, wait, who are you? Who are you? What's your name? You're the good guy, I think you're the bad guy. Okay, got it. And yeah, that's gonna be a little bit getting used to. As much as everything I liked, I really dug the cinematography here. I think it's such a step up from Game of Thrones. I will admit, I partially do a bit like this grunge and dirty feeling that you got when you saw an episode of Game of Thrones. It just felt very, just straightforward with how nasty everything looked, and that was a real testament not just to the cinematography, but to the set designers and stuff, and all the people that put a lot of hard work in. Not to say that's not here, it's just this is stylistically different in the way it's shot and the way it's made. And I'm here for it. I like it. So far, performances, everybody seems to be knocking it out of the park. Standouts for me absolutely are the King. I'm very intrigued to see where this goes. I'm assuming this has got to be a downfall story on how his people will end up betraying him. It feels like he's trying to keep the peace as much as he can with his brother, who's played by Matt Smith, which I will get to in a second. And it just feels like at any second this will be going off the rails. Speaking of Matt Smith, I was really surprised on how good Matt Smith here is in this episode. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. He actually was my very first Doctor, and it got me into the show. And when they said that he would be on board of House of the Dragon, I was skeptical because, hey, I really like Matt Smith. I feel like as much as I'm going to hate this character, I'm just going to eat up every scene where he's just delivering dialogue, for sure. Another standout to me is the daughter of the king. The thing that I realized after the episode is that the daughter and her friend aren't going to be played by those same actresses. There's going to be a time jump. I didn't know that going in. I haven't paid much attention to any of the trailers because I didn't anticipate that I'd ever watch this show. I'm doing it because people asked, and that's something that I'm really intrigued to see next. I thought that they were both pretty great for what they're given here in this first episode, but I'm really intrigued why we're getting a prologue episode to our prequel, and I don't hate that. Like I said, I'm intrigued. I think the jousting scene, there's a lot of good stuff here. A lot of tension building, you're on the edge of your seat for a lot of it. Even though I was aware that Matt Smith was going to survive because he's all over the marketing, some good stuff here. I don't really have much else to say, other than good stuff, could be better, maybe it will get better. They've got my attention. This video is a little bit sneaky because if you saw the title, I said and more. And I'm not just talking about House of the Dragon. I'm going to take 2 seconds to talk about a show that I am in love with and scared of. It's called The Rehearsal. I am a huge Nathan For You fan, and when I heard that Nathan Fielder was coming back with a new project that had a lot of money behind it, I was very intrigued. And from the premiere of the first trailer and watching each episode every week, my mind has been blown. So if you don't know what The Rehearsal is, basically Nathan Fielder, he puts these ads out on Craigslist and asks people, hey, is there something you're putting off or something that you're not sure about if you could do in life or achieve? And then what do you think you'd do if you could basically rehearse this moment so that you could get it right? And that is what The Rehearsal is. The first episode focuses on this man who is a part of a bar trivia team who has been lying that he's had a master's degree his entire time that he's been in this friend group. He wants to tell them that he doesn't have one because they keep sending him job recommendations that require having a master's degree, but he's also afraid of being cut out of it and losing those friendships. I said friendships really weird. Friendships. So Nathan decides to build this entire set of a bar inside of a warehouse and let him rehearse this night over and over and over again with the person that he's going to meet, even down to hiring an actress that goes and finds out what the actual girl is like that she is supposed to play, just so that he will have a reference to bounce off of. And there's a lot of improv and a lot of variations of how this could go. It's genius, but also kind of manipulative in its own way, and it's fantastic. And if you're one of the few people that still hasn't checked this out, do yourself a favor and please check it out. There is a lot of cringe here. I do want to go ahead and get that out of the way. If cringe stuff is gonna bother you, it's real and raw. Not like dirty raw. It's not disturbing uncomfortable. It's just real. I typically don't care whatsoever for reality TV, but in terms of a documentary sense, it had me enthralled, and I can wait for season 2 because I'm kind of fucking scared of what's going to happen next, but from a technicality standpoint, I do have to recommend this show so hard. So do yourself a favor, check it out. You'll have a good time.
Are you sure you want to do this?
I don't really like lying to people.
You're a liar!
Yeah, neither do I.
And on the other hand, the other thing I want to take 2 seconds to talk about, I've finally caught up with, and I've got 2 episodes left to go this season, but I feel like I've got just enough to just gush about it and talk about it. The Orville. It's a show that I've loved ever since its premiere, and it saddens me that it doesn't have like this huge following that is just blown up in pop culture, and like, I want to put my 2 cents and say that I fucking love this show. I've been rewatching it as well with a friend, which has been a lot of fun, but also I'm catching up on the new season, and New Horizons is fantastic. If you don't know what the Orville is, it's basically Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek. You know, he basically just went and made his own, and it's got like a little bit of an edge with comedy, but also is very serious and isn't afraid to tackle serious subject matters and handle them with such care and be realistic with them, as much as this is a fantasy sci-fi show. I really think it's worth your time to check it out. The early season, the first one, is a little rocky at the start, if you ask me, because it hits a little bit more comedy than it does drama. And somewhere along the lines, as it tips into season 2, it focuses more on that drama edge, keeping its, its comedy there. And as you enter into New Horizons, everything is just kind of different. It's a Hulu original now, so it's, like higher budget, it's taken more seriously, it's shot a whole lot better. The one episode is like an hour and a half, and it didn't drag in any sense of the word, and felt completely warranted. It wasn't like some Stranger Things bullshit at all.
We've served together, we've laughed together, and we all owe each other our lives.
Again, I can't recommend these 2 shows enough. I know you guys weren't prepared for me to sneak these 2 into this discussion, but if I didn't put it somewhere, I was never going to get the word out. So, yeah, The Rehearsal is on HBO Max right now, and I hope it stays on HBO Max, with everything going on. And The Orville is currently streaming on Hulu as a Hulu original. It originally aired on Fox, but it's on Hulu. And it just got added to Disney Plus, so if you don't have Hulu but you have Disney Plus, it's also on Disney Plus. And I prefer that more because, no ads if you have the opportunity. Anyways, yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, guys. I'm excited to keep talking about House of the Dragon and see where it goes. Now that Saul is over. Yeah, you guys have a great day. Thanks for checking out the video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Alex out.